In the last episode, Alex Carter, a resourceful entrepreneur, had just launched a daring rescue mission to uncover a dangerous conspiracy threatening the fragile peace in the galaxy. As he navigated the aftermath, he faced betrayal from unexpected allies, forcing him to reevaluate his strategy. A faint signal crackled through the comms system, a message from an unknown sender that read, "Meet at Sector 47,892, come alone." Alex's instincts told him to be cautious. This could be a trap or a desperate plea. Alex stepped into the dimly lit docking bay, the hum of engines and hiss of hydraulics enveloping him. A lone figure cloaked in shadows beckoned, their back to the fading light. Looking around cautiously, the docking bay door slid shut, enveloping the darkness. A chill ran down his spine as he moved to investigate. As he made his way deeper, Alex's thoughts drifted back to the events that had transposed over the last few weeks. The memory of a burning cityscape, the desperation in the eyes of those fleeing, and the haunting feeling of loss that lingered long after the chaos subsided. All these swirled together, coalescing into a resolve to keep pushing forward, no matter the cost. The dim outline of a ship materialized on the viewscreen. A transmission crackled through, garbled and urgent. A voice, distorted and panicked, spoke a single chilling phrase, "We're under attack." The comms system kicked in, alive with activity. Activating his suit's defenses, Alex braced himself, heart pounding as he met the unknown threat head-on. What lay ahead was impossible to predict, but one thing was certain: the stakes had just gotten a lot higher. The darkness seemed to thicken around him, the air heavy with anticipation. Alex's hand instinctively went to the holstered pistol at his hip, his finger hovering over the trigger. The ship's viewscreen flickered, the transmission clearing to reveal a desperate face, eyes wide with fear. "Please, you have to help us," the voice begged. "They're destroying everything. We can't hold out much longer." Alex's gut twisted with urgency as he scanned the docking bay, searching for any sign of ambush. The shadows seemed to writhe and twist around him, his suit's defense systems humming softly in his ear. "Identify yourself," Alex demanded, his voice firm but controlled. "Who's attacking you?" The face on the viewscreen contorted, as if the speaker was fighting back tears. "I am. I am Captain Yena of the resistance ship Nova's Hope. We've been ambushed by Council forces. They're trying to wipe us out." Alex's mind raced, weighing the risks and possibilities. He couldn't ignore the plea, not after everything he'd worked for. He took a deep breath, making a decision. "Hold on, Captain. I am on my way." "Can you provide coordinates for the battle?" Captain Yena's face crumpled, hope and desperation warring on her features. "Thank you, Alex. We're at Sector 42,111. Be warned, the Council has deployed a fleet of Devastator-class vessels. We won't last much longer." Alex's grip on his pistol tightened, a cold determination spreading through his veins. He turned to face the figure cloaked in shadows, his eyes flashing with intensity. "You're coming with me," Alex said, his voice brooking no argument. "We have a battle to win." The figure didn't move, didn't respond. Alex's instincts screamed warning, but he had no time to hesitate. He turned and sprinted towards his ship, the docking bay doors sliding open with a hiss. As he launched into the unknown, Alex felt the weight of his responsibility, the fate of humanity's future hanging in the balance. He was about to face the deadliest battle of his life, and he knew that the outcome would decide the course of history. The stars blurred around him as he hurtled towards Sector 42,111, his heart pounding in his chest. Alex Carter, the entrepreneur-turned-legend, was ready to face whatever lay ahead, his unyielding spirit driving him forward into the heart of danger. He burst into the cockpit, his eyes scanning the data streaming across the screens. His ship, the Arcadia's Hope, shuddered as it entered the fray, Alex's hands moving with precision to deploy the defenses. "We're entering the battle zone, Captain," Alex's AI, Eve, announced, her voice steady and calm. Alex's gaze locked onto the viewscreen, his jaw set in determination. The Devastator-class vessels loomed before him, their cannons blazing as they ravaged the Nova's Hope. "Target the lead vessel," Alex ordered, his voice firm. "Let's take back the initiative." The Arcadia's Hope shuddered, its cannons firing in perfect sync. The battle raged on, Alex's ship dancing through the chaos as he faced off against the Council's deadliest forces. In the heart of the maelstrom, Alex found his element, his strategic mind working overtime to outmaneuver the enemy. The stakes had never been higher, but Alex Carter was ready to risk everything for the future he'd envisioned. And in the heat of battle, Alex knew that this was only the beginning, the start of a new chapter, filled with endless possibilities and adventures. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and Alex was the only one who could tip the scales. The Nova's Hope teetered on the edge of collapse, its shields faltering under the relentless barrage of Council firepower. Alex knew every passing second counted. One misplaced shot could turn the tide against them. He banked hard to port, the Arcadia's Hope dodging a salvo of laser blasts as he searched for an opening to strike back. "Captain Yana, can you hold out for another minute?" Alex called out, his voice strained with urgency. The response was hesitant, laced with desperation. "We're trying, Alex," but a loud explosion cut her off, the viewscreen flickering with static. Alex's heart sank. He knew they were running out of time. With a swift motion, he flipped the comms switch, connecting with Eve. "Eve, hack into the Council's command frequency. I need to know their strategy." The AI's response was instantaneous. "Already on it, Alex. Give me 5 seconds." The pause was agonizing, Alex's gaze darting between the instruments and the viewscreen. The Devastator-class vessels loomed closer, their cannons primed for the killing blow. "Got it, Alex," Eve announced, her tone crisp. "The Council is planning to—" A loud alarm blared, the Arcadia's Hope shuddering violently as a proximity alert flashed on the console. "Incoming torpedoes, Alex," Eve warned. Alex's hand moved with lightning speed, firing off a barrage of point defense lasers to intercept the incoming ordnance. The ship bucked and lurched, the sound of detonating torpedoes echoing through the cockpit. As the din subsided, Alex's eyes snapped back to the viewscreen, his heart pounding in his chest. The Nova's Hope was listing badly, its main engine sputtering. Time was running out. "Captain Yana, I need you to—" A weak voice crackled through the comms system. "Alex, thank you. We can't hold much longer." Alex's jaw clenched, a surge of determination driving him forward. He knew he had to act, and fast. With a deep breath, he made his decision. "Eve, plot a course for the Nova's Hope. We're going in." The AI's response was immediate. "Course plotted, Alex. Hang on." The Arcadia's Hope surged forward, its engines roaring as it closed the distance to the beleaguered resistance ship. Alex's heart raced, his mind racing with strategies and contingency plans. This was it, the moment of truth. As the rescue ship loomed large in the viewscreen, Alex steeled himself for the worst. He knew the Council would stop at nothing to crush the resistance, and he was about to put everything on the line to save them. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and Alex Carter was ready to risk it all. The Arcadia's Hope burst through the hail of laser fire, its shields groaning under the pressure. Alex's knuckles whitened as he gripped the control stick, his eyes locked on the Nova's Hope. Eve's calm voice provided a stabilizing influence, guiding him through the chaos. "Incoming fire from portside, Alex. Recommend evasive maneuvers." Alex instinctively banked the ship to starboard, dodging a salvo of plasma bolts. The Nova's Hope loomed closer, its hull breached, atmosphere venting into space. Time was running out. "Captain Yana, can you—" Alex's words were cut off by a faint transmission, barely audible above the din of battle. "Alex, this is Captain Yana. Please, hurry." The desperation in her voice sent a chill down Alex's spine. He knew they were mere seconds away from disaster. "Eve, can you establish a lock on the Nova's Hope's docking bay?" "Affirmative, Alex. Locking on." The Arcadia's Hope shuddered, its engines straining to maintain the precarious course. Alex's heart raced, his vision narrowing to the docking bay's entrance. "Incoming fire from the Devastator-class vessel, Alex," Eve warned. Alex's thumb jammed down on the firing stud, unleashing a barrage of point-defense lasers. The ship lurched, throwing him against the restraints as the torpedoes detonated mere meters from the hull. The view screen flickered, clearing to reveal the Nova's Hope's battered hull mere meters away. Alex's breath caught as he spotted the faint outline of Captain Yena's ship, listing badly but still intact. "Now, Eve," Alex shouted. The AI's response was instantaneous. The Arcadia's Hope surged forward, its docking bay doors opening like a maw to swallow the Nova's Hope whole. Alex's vision blurred, his ears ringing from the cacophony of explosions and screams. As the docking bay doors closed, the sounds of battle receded, replaced by an eerie stillness. Alex's chest heaved, his gaze fixed on the viewscreen as the Nova's Hope's crew stumbled into the docking bay, battered, bruised, but alive. Captain Yena's face appeared on the viewscreen, her eyes sunken, her skin pale. "Alex, thank you." Alex's voice cracked with emotion. "You're safe now, Captain. We've got you." The viewscreen flickered, Captain Yena's image replaced by a grainy feed from the Council's command frequency. A cold, calculating voice spoke, the words dripping with malice. "Alex Carter, you've meddled in our affairs for the last time. Prepare to face the consequences." Alex's jaw set, his determination burning brighter than ever. "Bring it on." The transmission cut off, leaving Alex to ponder the Council's next move. He knew they wouldn't stop until they crushed the resistance, and he was ready to fight back with every ounce of strength he possessed. As the Nova's Hope's crew began to trickle in, their eyes vacant, their bodies broken, Alex's resolve hardened. He would not rest until the Council paid for their atrocities. In the midst of the chaos, a sudden, unexplained energy surge rocked the Arcadia's Hope. Alarms blared, the ship's systems faltering as an otherworldly presence materialized on the viewscreen. A figure, tall, imposing, with eyes burning like stars, gazed out upon the battle-scarred landscape. Its voice, like thunder, boomed through the speakers. "Alex Carter, your fate is not yet sealed. The galaxy holds secrets beyond your wildest dreams. Will you listen, or will you succumb to the darkness that has haunted humanity for centuries?" Alex's heart stalled, his mind reeling as the mysterious figure vanished, leaving behind an unsettling silence. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and Alex Carter stood at the crossroads, ready to chart a new course into the unknown. The energy surge still resonated through the Arcadia's Hope, its ship's systems struggling to recover. Alex's eyes remained fixed on the viewscreen, the enigmatic figure's words burning into his mind. "What in the galaxy just happened?" Captain Yena whispered, her eyes wide with a mix of awe and fear. Alex shook his head, trying to clear the cobwebs. "I don't know, but I think we've got a bigger problem on our hands." Eve's gentle voice interrupted the stunned silence. "Alex, I am detecting anomalous energy signatures emanating from the Galactic Council's command frequency. It appears they're attempting to hack into our systems." Alex's grip on the control stick tightened. "Seal off our systems, Eve. We can't let them get a foothold." "Already on it, Alex," Eve replied, her digital voice laced with determination. As the crew scrambled to regroup and tend to the wounded, Alex's mind raced with the implications of the mysterious figure's words. The galaxy held secrets beyond his wildest dreams. What did that even mean? Captain Yena's hand fell on his shoulder, her grip firm. "Alex, we need to focus on the immediate threat. The Council's not going to stop until they crush us." Alex nodded, his determination renewed. "You're right, Captain. We'll deal with the Council first, then we'll unravel the mystery of that entity." The tension in the air was palpable as Alex turned to face his crew. "All right, people, we've got a fight on our hands. Let's get to work and show the Council what we're made of." The Arcadia's Hope shuddered, its engines roaring back to life as Alex plotted a course for the Galactic Council's stronghold. The stage was set for a final confrontation, one that would decide the fate of humanity. "Captain, I've got an idea," Eve said, her voice laced with a hint of mischief. Alex raised an eyebrow. "Let's hear it, Eve." "I can try to infiltrate the Council's systems, gather intel on their plans and weaknesses. It's a long shot, but Alex's eyes lit up. Do it, Eve. We need every advantage we can get. With Eve working her digital magic, Alex turned his attention to the view screen, the stars blazing like diamonds against the inky blackness of space. The unknown loomed before him, but Alex Carter was ready to face it head-on, armed with nothing but his unwavering determination and the unshakable conviction that humanity's destiny lay beyond the reach of the Galactic Council. As the Arcadia's hope pierced the veil of uncertainty, Alex's voice echoed through the ship, a battle cry that would resound throughout the galaxy. Let's take back our future. The stars streaked past the viewscreen as the Arcadia's hope hurtled toward the Galactic Council's stronghold. Eve's digital fingers danced across the console, weaving an intricate web of code to infiltrate the Council's systems. Alex, I am in, Eve announced, her voice laced with a hint of excitement. I've accessed their central database. It's a treasure trove of information. Captain Yena's eyes narrowed. What have you found, Eve? The Council's planning a massive assault on humanity's stronghold, Eve replied, her digital voice steady. They're deploying their elite forces, the Enforcers, and something else. Alex's brow furrowed. Something else. Eve's pause was ominous. A prototype vessel codenamed Apex. It's a behemoth of a ship, heavily armed and shielded. If it gets past our defenses, get me schematics on that ship, Eve, Alex ordered, his mind racing with strategies. As Eve worked on extracting the schematics, Alex turned to Captain Yena. We need to come up with a plan to take down that ship. We can't let it get close to our stronghold. Captain Yena nodded. I've got an idea, Alex. We can. The ship's alarm blared, cutting off Captain Yena's words. The view screen flickered and a message from the Galactic Council's leader, Chairman Arlo, appeared. Alex Carter, you're a fool for thinking you can defeat us, Chairman Arlo sneered. Your people will soon be crushed beneath our heel. Surrender now and I might spare your life. Alex's jaw clenched. Tell him, Eve. Eve's digital voice was sweet and deadly. Chairman Arlo, Alex says, you can go to hell. The view screen flickered back to life, showing the stars hurtling past once more. Alex's determination hardened into steel. All right, Captain. Let's show them what we're made of. The Arcadia's hope shuddered, its engines roaring as it prepared to face the Galactic Council's forces. Alex's crew stood ready, their hearts pounding with anticipation. The battle for humanity's future was about to begin. As the ship charged into the fray, Alex's thoughts drifted back to the enigmatic figure's words, secrets beyond his wildest dreams. What lay hidden in the galaxy, waiting to be uncovered? The mystery would have to wait. For now, Alex had a war to win. The battle raged on, the Arcadia's hope trading blows with the Galactic Council's forces. Alex's quick thinking and Eve's hacking skills had taken down several enemy ships, but the Apex prototype loomed large, its presence a constant threat. Captain Yena's voice came over the comms. Alex, we've got a problem. The Apex is breaking through our defenses. We need to take it down now. Alex's eyes locked onto the view screen. Eve, can you? Eve's digital voice was strained. I am trying, Alex, but the Apex's shields are too strong. I need more time. Alex's grip on the control stick tightened. We don't have time. I'll come up with something. A sudden idea sparked in his mind. Captain, I need you to. The ship lurched, throwing Alex off balance. The view screen flickered and the Apex's massive hull filled the screen. Alex's heart skipped a beat as the prototype's cannons charged up. Too late, Captain Yena whispered, her voice laced with fear. Alex's eyes met the Apex's, a challenge burning in his soul. The fate of humanity hung in the balance. In a flash of insight, he knew what he had to do. Hold on, everyone, Alex said, his voice steady. This is going to get rough. The Arcadia's hope shuddered, its engines screaming as Alex plotted a course for the Apex's heart. The battle was far from over, but Alex Carter was about to make his move, one that would change the course of history forever. The Apex's cannons flared, unleashing a barrage of energy bolts that tore through the Arcadia's hope's shields. Alarms blared as the ship buckled under the assault, throwing Alex and his crew off balance. Eve's digital voice screamed warnings, her systems overloading as she struggled to compensate for the damage. "Captain, we're losing shields," Eve shouted. Captain Yena's voice was tight with fear. "Alex, we can't take much more of this." Alex's knuckles whitened on the control stick as he guided the ship through the hail of energy bolts. The apex loomed large, its hull a blur of metal and destruction. "Hold on, everyone," Alex yelled, his eyes locked on the prototype's core. "We're going in." The Arcadia's Hope shuddered, its engines roaring as Alex charged straight at the apex's heart. The prototype's cannons faltered, caught off guard by the sudden maneuver. Alex's plan was simple: get close enough to the apex's core to overload its power systems and take it down. Eve's digital voice was a steady hum, her systems pouring all available power into the ship's shields. Captain Yena's eyes were fixed on the viewscreen, her face pale with fear. The distance between the Arcadia's Hope and the apex closed, the two ships mere meters apart. Alex's heart pounded in his chest, his vision narrowing to the single goal. "Now," he shouted, slamming the control stick forward. The Arcadia's Hope surged, its engines bursting with power. The ship's hull creaked, protesting the incredible stress. Eve's digital voice was a scream of excitement, her systems on the brink of collapse. The apex's core flared, its power systems overloading. The prototype's hull buckled, a massive explosion ripping through its heart. The Arcadia's Hope was tossed aside, its shields faltering as the blast wave washed over it. Alex's vision blurred, his head spinning from the incredible force. The ship's alarms continued to wail, Eve's digital voice a faint whisper. "Alex, we're going to make it." The viewscreen flickered, the stars streaming past in a mad dance. Alex's grip on the control stick was limp, his body numb from the shock. "Captain," he mumbled, his voice barely audible. Captain Yena's face was a blur, her eyes wide with concern. "Alex, can you hear me?" Alex's vision cleared, his mind racing back to reality. The apex was down, its wreckage drifting through space. The Galactic Council's forces were in disarray, their leadership crippled. The battle was won, but at what cost? Alex's thoughts snapped back to the present as Eve's digital voice whispered a warning. "Alex, we're not alone. There's another ship closing in." Alex's heart skipped a beat as he turned to Captain Yena. "Get me a reading on that ship." Now, Captain Yena's face was grim, her eyes fixed on the viewscreen. It's a human ship, Alex, but it's not responding to our hails." A cold dread crept up Alex's spine. Who was behind this new threat? And what did they want? The stars streamed past, a reminder that in a galaxy full of secrets, Alex Carter was about to face his greatest challenge yet. "Captain, I am detecting a strange energy signature from the approaching ship," Eve warned, her digital voice laced with urgency. Alex's grip on the control stick tightened as he leaned forward, his eyes locked on the viewscreen. The mysterious ship was closing in fast, its intentions unknown. "Try to hail them again, Captain," Alex ordered, his mind racing with possibilities. Captain Yena nodded, her fingers flying across the console. "I am trying, Alex, but they're not responding. It's as if they're intentionally ignoring us." Alex's instincts screamed at him to be cautious. He didn't like being in the dark, not when his people's lives hung in the balance. "Eve, can you give me a better read on that energy signature?" he asked, his voice low and even. "I am trying, Alex," Eve replied, her digital voice strained. "But it's like nothing I've seen before. It's almost organic." The hairs on the back of Alex's neck stood on end. Organic energy signatures didn't belong in space, not in this galaxy at least. "Captain, raise our shields," Alex ordered, his tone firm. "We don't know what we're dealing with here." Captain Yena nodded, her face set in determination. "Shields up, Alex." The Arcadia's Hope trembled as the shields activated, a faint hum vibrating through the ship's hull. Alex's eyes never left the viewscreen, his mind focused on the unknown ship. The stranger's vessel drew closer, its energy signature growing stronger. Alex's heart pounded in his chest, his senses on high alert. Suddenly, the ship vanished from the viewscreen, replaced by an eerie, pulsing glow. "What in the—" Captain Yena breathed, her eyes wide with wonder. Eve's digital voice was a whisper. Alex, I am detecting a psionic connection. Whatever that ship is, it's trying to communicate with us telepathically. Alex's mind reeled as he stared at the view screen, the pulsing glow hypnotic. Telepathic communication was the stuff of legends, a myth from humanity's ancient past. Can you establish a connection, Eve? Alex asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Eve's digital voice was hesitant. I am trying, Alex, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure we're ready for this. The pulsing glow grew brighter, the air on the Arcadia's hope thickening with anticipation. Alex's instincts screamed at him to be cautious, but his curiosity got the better of him. Try, Eve, Alex said, his voice firm. We need to know what's going on. The ship's systems hummed, Eve's digital voice a steady chant as she struggled to establish the connection. The view screen flickered, the pulsing glow growing more intense. And then, suddenly, Alex was flooded with visions, his mind overwhelmed by the sheer scope of the stranger's message. The galaxy was on the brink of collapse, the fabric of space-time unraveling at an exponential rate. Ancient powers, long thought defeated, stirred once more, their malevolent presence felt across the cosmos. Alex's vision blurred, his mind reeling from the revelations. The stranger's ship was a harbinger, a warning of the impending doom that threatened to engulf humanity. The connection severed, the viewscreen snapping back to reality. Alex's chest heaved, his breath ragged as he turned to Captain Yena. Get me a lock on that ship, he ordered, his voice firm. We need to talk to them, find out what they know. Captain Yena nodded, her face set in determination. Already on it, Alex. The Arcadia's hope trembled, its engines roaring as Alex set a course for the mysterious ship. The stakes had never been higher, the fate of humanity hanging in the balance. Alex's determination hardened, his spirit unyielding in the face of the unknown. He would do whatever it took to save his people, to ensure their survival in a galaxy on the brink of collapse. The battle for humanity's future had only just begun. As the Arcadia's hope approached the mysterious ship, Alex's mind raced with questions. Who were these entities, and what did they know about the impending doom that threatened the galaxy? The ship's strange organic energy signature and telepathic communication capabilities hinted at an ancient, otherworldly technology that defied human understanding. Eve, can you hack into their systems? Alex asked, his eyes fixed on the viewscreen. I am trying, Alex, Eve replied, her digital voice laced with concentration. But their security is unlike anything I've seen. It's as if they're using a form of biological encryption. The air on the bridge grew thick with tension as the crew waited for Eve to crack the code. Alex's instincts told him that time was of the essence. Every moment counted in the face of the unfolding catastrophe. Suddenly, the viewscreen flickered, and a figure materialized before them. It was unlike any being Alex had ever seen, a humanoid form with skin that shifted like the colors of a chameleon, and eyes that burned with an inner light. Greetings, Alex Carter, the being said, its voice like a gentle breeze in Alex's mind. I am Ambassador Zorvath of the Kai-Ren Empire. We have been watching you, and we believe you hold the key to saving the galaxy. Alex's eyes narrowed, his mind racing with the implications. What do you know about the impending doom? He asked, his voice firm. The fabric of space-time is unraveling at an exponential rate, Zorvath replied, its voice like a gentle lapping of waves. The ancient powers that once threatened the galaxy have returned, and they will not stop until they have claimed dominion over the cosmos. Alex's grip on the control stick tightened as he processed the ambassador's words. What do you propose we do? He asked, his voice laced with urgency. We must form an alliance, Zorvath replied, its eyes burning with intensity. Together, we can pool our resources and knowledge to find a solution. The Kai-Ren Empire possesses ancient technology that may hold the key to repairing the fabric of space-time. Alex's instincts screamed at him to be cautious, but he knew he had no choice. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and he would do whatever it took to ensure their survival. I am willing to listen, Alex said, his voice firm, but I need to know more about your plan and what you're proposing. Zorveth nodded, its skin shifting like the colors of a sunset. Let us discuss the details, Alex Carter. The fate of the galaxy depends on our success. As Alex and Zorveth began to negotiate, Alex couldn't shake off the feeling that he was walking a thin line between salvation and betrayal. The stakes had never been higher, and the outcome of their meeting would determine the course of human history. In the background, Eve's digital voice whispered a warning, a faint energy signature, emanating from the depths of the Kai Ren ship that hinted at a hidden agenda. Alex's instincts screamed at him to be cautious, but he knew he had no choice. The battle for humanity's future had only just begun, and Alex would do whatever it took to emerge victorious. As Alex and Zorveth delved deeper into the details of their proposed alliance, the air on the bridge grew thick with tension. Alex's instincts continued to scream at him to be cautious, but he knew he had to push forward. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and he couldn't afford to let doubts hold him back. I understand that the Kai Ren Empire possesses ancient technology that could help repair the fabric of space-time, Alex said, his eyes locked on Zorveth's shifting form. But I need to know more about what you're proposing. What kind of resources are we talking about, and what's the scope of your plan? Zorveth's eyes burned with intensity as it replied, we possess a device known as the chronal accelerator. It has the capability to manipulate time itself, allowing us to create a localized temporal bubble that can shield the galaxy from the unraveling fabric of space-time. Alex's mind raced with the implications. That sounds like a game changer, he said, his voice laced with excitement. But what's the catch? There has to be a cost to using such powerful technology. Zorvath's form shifted, its skin darkening to a deep indigo. The chronal accelerator requires a tremendous amount of energy to function. We would need access to a significant source of power, one that could sustain the device for an extended period. Alex's eyes narrowed as he considered the ambassador's words. I think I can help with that, he said, a plan forming in his mind. We have access to a powerful energy source, one that could provide the necessary power for your device. But I need to know that I can trust you, Zorvath. What's in this for the Kai Ren Empire? Zorvath's form shifted again, its eyes burning with an inner light. We seek to protect our own empire, of course, it replied. But we also see the value in forming a strong alliance with humanity. Together, we can achieve great things and ensure the survival of our respective species. As Alex and Zorvath continued to negotiate, Eve's digital voice whispered another warning in Alex's ear, a faint energy signature emanating from the depths of the Kai Ren ship that hinted at a hidden agenda. Alex's instincts screamed at him to be cautious, but he knew he had to push forward. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and he couldn't afford to let doubts hold him back. All right, Zorvath, Alex said, his voice firm. I'm willing to take the risk. Let's form this alliance and see if we can save the galaxy together. Zorvath's form shifted, its skin brightening to a radiant silver. Then it is settled, it replied. We will work together to ensure the survival of our species. But remember, Alex Carter, the fate of the galaxy hangs in the balance. We must not fail. As the two leaders finalized their agreement, Alex couldn't shake off the feeling that he was walking a thin line between salvation and betrayal. The stakes had never been higher, and the outcome of their meeting would determine the course of human history. But Alex was undeterred. He knew that he had made the right decision, no matter the risks. The battle for humanity's future had only just begun, and Alex would do whatever it took to emerge victorious. All right, Eve, Alex said, his voice firm. Let's get to work. We have a galaxy to save. The AI's digital voice replied, Aye, Captain, plotting a course for the energy source. Let's hope we're not too late. As the Arcadia's hope jumped into hyperspace, Alex felt a sense of determination wash over him. He knew that the road ahead would be fraught with danger, but he was ready. The battle for humanity's future had begun, and Alex would stop at nothing to ensure their survival. But little did Alex know, A hidden force was watching from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and Alex's next move would determine the course of history. "Captain, I am detecting an anomaly in the energy signature of the Kai Ren ship," Eve warned, her digital voice laced with concern. Alex's instincts screamed at him to be cautious, but he knew he had to push forward. The battle for humanity's future had only just begun, and Alex would do whatever it took to emerge victorious. "Keep monitoring the situation, Eve," Alex replied, his voice firm. "We can't afford to let our guard down. Not now, not ever." As the Arcadia's hope approached the energy source, Alex felt a sense of trepidation wash over him. He knew that the road ahead would be fraught with danger, but he was ready. The battle for humanity's future had begun, and Alex would stop at nothing to ensure their survival. But as the ship emerged from hyperspace, Alex's worst fears were confirmed. A massive fleet of ships, adorned with the emblem of the Galactic Council, waited for them. The battle for humanity's future had only just begun, and Alex would have to fight with every ounce of strength he had to emerge victorious. "Captain, we're surrounded," Eve warned, her digital voice laced with urgency. "What do we do?" Alex's mind raced with options, but he knew he had only one choice. He would have to face the enemy head-on, using every trick in the book to outmaneuver them. "Prepare for battle, Eve," Alex replied, his voice firm. "We'll show them what humanity is capable of. We'll fight to the death to ensure our survival." As the battle began, Alex knew that the outcome would determine the course of human history. He would stop at nothing to ensure their survival, no matter the cost. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and Alex would do whatever it took to emerge victorious. But little did Alex know, the true enemy was not the Galactic Council, but a hidden force that had been manipulating events from behind the scenes. The battle for humanity's future had only just begun, and Alex would have to face his greatest challenge yet to emerge victorious. The air was thick with tension as Alex gazed out at the fleet of Galactic Council ships surrounding them. His mind raced with strategies, searching for a way to outmaneuver the enemy. Eve's digital voice whispered warnings and updates in his ear, her processors working at lightning speed to analyze the situation. "Captain, I've detected a weak point in their formation," Eve said, her tone urgent. "If we can exploit it, we might be able to break through their lines." Alex's eyes narrowed, his focus laser-sharp. "Plot a course, Eve. Let's make it happen." The Arcadia's hope surged forward, its engines roaring as it charged toward the weak point. Alex's team sprang into action, their training and experience guiding them as they worked together to execute the plan. The battle raged on, laser blasts and explosions lighting up the darkness of space. Alex's ship dodged and weaved, its shields holding strong against the relentless barrage. But Alex knew they couldn't keep this up for much longer. They needed a game-changer and fast. "Eve, can you hack into their systems?" Alex asked, his voice firm. "We need to disable their command ship if we're going to have any chance of winning." Eve's digital voice replied, "I am on it, Captain, but it won't be easy. Their security is top-notch." Alex gritted his teeth, his determination burning brighter than ever. "I don't care, Eve, just do it. We can't afford to lose." The AI's processors hummed as she worked her magic, her digital fingers flying across the keyboard. The seconds ticked by, each one an eternity as Alex waited for Eve to break through the Council's defenses. Suddenly the command ship's shields flickered, its systems going dark. The Galactic Council's flagship stumbled, its engines sputtering as Alex's team took advantage of the opening. "We did it, Eve," Alex exclaimed, his voice triumphant. "We're going to win this thing." But Eve's digital voice was laced with warning. "Captain, we're not out of the woods yet. I am detecting a strange energy signature coming from the Kai Ren ship. It's unlike anything I've seen before." Alex's instincts screamed at him to be cautious, but he knew he couldn't afford to hesitate. "Keep monitoring the situation, Eve. We'll deal with it when we're done here." The battle raged on, Alex's team fighting with every ounce of strength they had. But as the Council's ships began to fall, Alex knew they were close to victory. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and he would stop at nothing to ensure their survival. Finally, the last of the Council's ships fell, its engines destroyed. The Arcadia's hope emerged victorious, its shields battered but holding strong. Alex let out a deep breath, his exhaustion washed away by a sense of pride and determination. "We did it, team," Alex said, his voice firm. "We've taken the first step toward reclaiming our place in the galaxy." But as he turned to face Zorvath's ship, Alex's instincts screamed at him once more. The Kai-Ren ambassador's form shifted, its eyes burning with an inner light. "Alex Carter," Zorvath said, its voice dripping with menace, "you have played into our hands beautifully. The Galactic Council was just a pawn in our game, and now that they're out of the way, it's time for us to take our rightful place as the rulers of the galaxy." Alex's eyes narrowed, his mind racing with the implications. He had been played, manipulated by the Kai-Ren Empire from the very beginning. The battle for humanity's future had only just begun, and Alex would have to face his greatest challenge yet to emerge victorious. "We've been played," Alex growled, his anger simmering just below the surface. The Council was just a distraction, a means to an end. Zorvath's laughter echoed through the comm system, sending a chill down Alex's spine. "You are clever, Alex Carter. But you are no match for the Chiron Empire. We have been waiting for centuries to reclaim our rightful place in the galaxy." Alex's eyes locked onto Zorvath's ship, his mind racing with strategies. He knew he couldn't take on the Chiron Empire alone, not yet. But he had to buy time, had to stall for as long as possible. "Eve, can you hack into Zorvath's ship?" Alex asked, his voice firm. "We need to know what they're planning." Eve's digital voice replied, "I'm on it, Captain, but it won't be easy. The Chiron Empire's security is legendary." Alex gritted his teeth, his determination burning brighter than ever. "I don't care, Eve, just do it. We can't afford to lose." The AI's processors hummed as she worked her magic, her digital fingers flying across the keyboard. The seconds ticked by, each one an eternity as Alex waited for Eve to break through the Chiron Empire's defenses. Suddenly, Eve's digital voice spoke up, "Captain, I've accessed their databases. The Chiron Empire plans to use a powerful ancient technology to enslave the galaxy. They've been searching for it for centuries, and they believe it's hidden on a remote planet on the edge of the galaxy." Alex's eyes narrowed, his focus laser-sharp. "Get me the coordinates, Eve. We're going to find that technology before they do." Eve's digital voice replied, "I've got the coordinates, Captain, but we're not the only ones after it. The Chiron Empire has sent a fleet to retrieve it." Alex's determination hardened into steel. "We'll get there first, Eve. We have to." The Arcadia's hope surged forward, its engines roaring as it charged toward the unknown. Alex's team sprang into action, their training and experience guiding them as they prepared for the ultimate showdown. The battle for humanity's future had reached its climax, and Alex would stop at nothing to ensure their survival. As they approached the remote planet, Alex could feel the weight of history on his shoulders. This was it, the moment of truth. He took a deep breath, his heart pounding in his chest. "Eve, can you scan for any signs of the ancient technology?" Alex asked, his voice firm. Eve's digital voice replied, "Captain, I'm detecting a strange energy signature coming from the planet's core. It's unlike anything I've seen before." Alex's instincts screamed at him to be cautious, but he knew he couldn't afford to hesitate. "Prepare a team to investigate, Eve. We're going in." The away team, led by Alex, beamed down to the planet's surface. The air was thick with an otherworldly energy, and Alex could feel the power of the ancient technology emanating from the core. Suddenly the ground began to shake, the planet's core awakening from its slumber. Alex's team stumbled backward, their eyes wide with wonder. "It's beautiful," one of them whispered. Alex's determination hardened into steel. "We have to control it," he said, his voice firm, "or risk losing everything." The ancient technology burst forth, its energy enveloping Alex and his team. Alex felt himself being lifted up, his mind expanding to contain the power. In that moment, Alex knew he had become something more. He had become the beacon of hope for humanity, the leader who would guide them to greatness. The Chiron Empire's fleet arrived, their ships surrounding the planet. But Alex was not afraid. He knew he had the power to defeat them, to ensure humanity's survival. With a wave of his hand, Alex unleashed the ancient technology, its energy washing over the Chiron Empire's fleet. Their ships stumbled, their engines faltering as Alex's team took advantage of the opening. The battle raged on, Alex's team fighting with every ounce of strength they had. But as the Chiron Empire's ships fell, Alex knew they were close to victory. Finally, the last of the Chiron Empire's ships fell, its engines destroyed. Alex let out a deep breath, his exhaustion washed away by a sense of pride and determination. "We did it, team," Alex said, his voice firm. "We've secured humanity's future." As the Arcadia's hope emerged victorious, Alex gazed out at the stars, his heart filled with a sense of wonder. He knew that this was just the beginning, that humanity's journey would be filled with challenges and adventures. But Alex was ready. He was ready to face whatever the galaxy threw their way, to guide humanity to greatness. The camera panned out, showing the Arcadia's hope standing tall, its engines roaring as it charged into the unknown. Alex's figure stood in the center, his eyes shining with determination. The screen faded to black, the words "the end" appearing on the screen. But Alex's journey was far from over. His legend would live on, inspiring generations to come.